fabric stash. Quilter flying, colors splash. Pins and patches, stories grow. Stitching secrets we all know. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square. Buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses lined so neat. Friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square. Buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses lined so neat. Friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Our Stitch by stitch they weave the tale. A patchwork life where laughs prevail. Patterns clash, but who can tell? Quilted chaos suits us well. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around.
Hello everybody and welcome, and I'm just checking my monitor as I usually do to make sure everything is hunky-dory. So I trust you can all see us and hear us.
Yeah, it's on.
What?
The microphone.
Oh, why? Where do you see that?
Well, it's not flashing, right?
No, I know. I've got it
Yeah, right.
in there. No, it's here. I want to see. But there's a big time delay today. Welcome. Oh, okay. It's working fine. All right. Good to know. It is working fine. Well, hello, everybody. So let's see who's here and do our romper room special. So, of course, Russ is number one, and, you know, he's being funny with his happy government mandated jet lag, daylight savings time. Okay. Sue is here. Hi, Sue. Barb is here, and Suzanne. Charlotte. Karen Lyles. Mona is here. Good early afternoon for me. Oh, yeah, because out in Arizona, they don't change time, I don't think. Inez is here, and Dubrovka, and Al. Gloria is here as well, and Heather. And Karen says, I wasn't sure if it would be daylight or standard time. I guessed right. So which one did you guess? I
don't know. Did we catch up to standard time or?
I get it always confused. Are we now in daylight savings time? We should just get rid of it. It's just, it throws everybody off forever. Anyways, it's some kind of time. Jen is here, and Judy is here, and Em is here. And let's see, popped up. Kay is here as well from Bakersfield, California. Colleen is here. And Karen B is here as well. And Faith. And Judy Hebert is here as well. And Stacy is here. And Sherry Cook is here. So we've got lots of people coming in. And I don't know if the time change is throwing anybody off. You're either late or early. One or the other. Well, let's see. If this had not changed the time, this would be 3 o'clock in the afternoon, not 4 o'clock, wouldn't it? Because we sprung ahead.
Yeah.
It's always so confusing. But anyways, I have a feeling few people, and not everybody does this either across North America.
Yeah,
in
I know
Canada,
it's getting kind of confusing.
Yeah, in
I think
Canada
in
they don't do
BC
it.
they just got rid of it.
Yeah, well, this is the last time they're doing
Yeah.
the change, but after that they're not doing it. I don't think Saskatchewan does it. I'm not sure where Alberta might. I'm not sure if Alberta.
I think so. Manitoba didn't do it either.
Well, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of a screwy thing. And then in the States, there's different states
And in
that don't do
Ontario,
it.
they have all these rules. They won't do it unless the New York does it or Quebec does it.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why.
I don't know. It's dumb. Just dumb. Donna says she finally got alive. Okay, great, Donna. I'm glad that you did. Barb says we are on daylight savings now too. So, okay. And Phyllis is here from Melbourne, Australia. And it's daylight saving time, not savings. Okay, whatever. You do it your way. I'll do it my way, Russ, because nobody likes to know it all. And besides, what makes you think I wasn't shopping and saving? Savings a lot. All right. Let's move on away from the. What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Checking your time?
Yeah, I don't know. I was checking.
time we have?
Actually, I was checking how warm it was.
Oh, well, how warm is it? It's 10. Yeah, it's
All
our
the-
snow
all our
is melting.
snow is melting like crazy.
Yeah, we've got lots of wet spots now. Before we had to worry about slipping on the ice. Now we have to worry about drowning.
Yeah, now we have to worry about sinking in the mud.
Yeah, and there's lots of mud. And the little skunkies are out as well.
Yeah, I stepped in it this week.
He stepped in what, a skunk?
No, I stepped in some skunk residue, so my shoes smell.
Yeah. Oh, and they were just a stinking the other night. And I don't mean his shoes.
I didn't
but
realize I brought it into the house.
Yeah. All I could smell was skunk in here. And it's bad enough that we live on the back of a forest where the skunkies all hang out, and they're just a squirting everywhere because it's mating season. So they're out there trying to attract other skunks, I guess. And haven't seen bunnies during the day yet, but they should be hopping about soon.
Well, I did see a couple of weeks ago hopping. They're usually around at night.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, well, I don't go out at night. You're the one that likes to go out at night so you can peek into people's windows. Yeah. Voyeur. Let's see. Lucy's here. Hi, Lucy. Barb says, would you believe in Calgary yesterday it was plus 18, today -2 and snow? Yeah, that's the thing. This is a tricky time of year because Mother Nature likes to be a bitch. She gives us all these nice warm days and we think, oh, spring is finally here and everything starts to melt. And it'll do that for a few days or a while, just as we're getting used to it. You know, we're starting to shed the long underwear and the really heavy coats and the sweaters and the scarves and all that stuff. And then, bang, we'll get the storm of the century. The temperature will drop to -20 and we'll be in 10 inches of snow again. And it will happen. It will happen. There's no two ways about it. And it's still winter. I mean, technically speaking, according to the calendar, it's not spring until the 21st of March, or sometimes it's the 20th of March, whatever. There's something to do with, I don't know how they figure it out, but whatever.
Russ, skunk and weed smell completely different.
Yeah, well, they do and they don't.
Yeah, skunk smells more acidy.
Yeah.
I mean, we smell weed all the time too because it's legal here.
Yeah. So you never know. Is that a skunk or is that just someone token? So, yeah. Susan, she says, we finally got snow. Oh, you sound like you were disappointed you hadn't got any from that. Well, you can have ours. Well, no, you can't.
Yeah, well, the pile of snow at the end of the driveway that used to be 6 feet higher is now about 4 feet.
Yeah, it's been melting pretty fast right here now. Barb says she's had a head cold for 3 weeks now. I hate Mother Nature. And Donna says it was very windy here now, Edmonton, Alberta, like gusts to 90 kilometers. Well, that's a big blowjob. That's for sure. Lucy goes E. Okay. And today's show is brought to you by the letter E. Thanks to Lucy. Oh, she took it away.
I think she hit the
probably
send
hit
button
the
too quick.
whatever. But anyways, yeah. So Barb says very windy in Calgary right now too. You guys are all getting wind.
It was nice
It was
today.
nice
We went
today,
for a walk
yeah.
today. It was nice and non-windy and sunny.
Yeah, and Susan says we needed it. We were getting fires already because it was so dry. Oh geez. Oh yeah. Now we used to have only 2 seasons, winter and construction. Now we have 3, winter, construction, and forest fires in some parts. Yes, big blow, Donna says. And Jeannie's here. Hi, Jeannie. Inez says, raining here and lots of flooding. Yeah, that's the other thing. When it gets warm really fast, and if you've had a lot of snow, depending on where you live, yeah.
And then it starts to rain.
Flooding. And then it rains on top of that. Yeah. So, but are we ever happy with the weather? No.
Canada, nobody's ever happy with.
Nobody's happy with anywhere. Grant's here. Hi, Grant. I'm just getting over 1 too, he says to Barb. So he's had a head cold as well. So, well, hopefully everybody will be feeling a little bit more healthy as we move towards real spring, whenever that will be. Okay, so how are you doing on your shirt?
Well, I've got the buttons to go on, and that's it.
Oh, wow. Ooh, maybe next week you'll see the shirt. And how long you been working on that shirt?
A little while now.
Yeah, it's not been a little. It's been a long. What, for Christmas?
No, not that long.
Oh, it feels like that.
It was last so day.
Oh. Last so day. Oh, you mean your so day, at the club thing. Yeah. Well, I've been working on a few things. Shoot, I got the wrong picture again up here. Well, I was going to show you. Oh, how come I have the, where did those?
Take a picture of it and post it in there.
Well, no, these are pictures from last week, but I thought I got rid of all of those.
Well, I guess you did.
I guess I didn't. Let me see if I can find the right pictures, if things come up on my screen. I'm telling you, it's always something. Okay, let's see. Let me go into this one down here. We'll click on this, then we'll go over here, and we'll go here, because I know I have them both here. And I'll hit this button here, and then I'll hit this button. And then we'll pull this up over here. And then we'll expand that. And hit that button there. And we'll hit this button. And this is what we want to show you. Yeah, there it is. It's not done yet. There's still more rows and columns to go. But this is what I'm calling the Healing Waters quilt. I don't know if I should call it that. I'm calling that after the fabric because that's what the fabric is called. But I don't know if I should name it the same thing as the fabric or whatnot. The panel isn't called that. It's called Genwana or something, Genwaka. But anyways, it's coming along, and probably before the end of this coming week, I'm hoping I'll have it pretty much finished. So I'm very happy with it so far. And I mean, I know the fabric is busy, but it works. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it.
It works. Huh? Oh, I like it. Okay, fine. And I'm working on, these are panels. This is going to be a table runner that I'm going to give to our next door neighbors because they just got back from South Africa. And I thought, well, it might be, I've had this pattern for a while, but I thought it might be kind of interesting they might enjoy it. I'm going to use some actual African fabric as the borders around it. It's going to be a fairly long table runner, but...
is he upside down?
The E?
E. All the other ones have sun on top, and E is
Oh, well, yeah, I just flipped one. You and Russ, both. It's not a mistake. I just flipped it around at me because they're both the same. So fine. Stand on your head. Jeez. Really? The abuse I put up with from some people all the time, you know?
Well, it's kind of stupid to take a picture of it with one inverted.
Did you find your buttons?
Yes, I did.
And how many hours were you looking for your buttons?
It's not looking very long.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you put your buttons in a thing that said buttons.
Well, most of my buttons are in buttons, but I take a bag out if I need one, so I put it somewhere.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, you always have a line, an excuse, don't you? So Inez says we have to get a Patty's Day storm yet. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's coming up, isn't it? March the 17th.
Yeah.
So that's
Next week sometime.
yeah, sometime. Well, not this week coming, the week after. No. Yes, the week coming.
Yeah.
Dan is here. There she is from lovely Regina, Saskatchewan. And Lucy says, well done, Walter. And Joanna is here as well. I'm so confused, she says. I'm in Tennessee and I'm an hour behind. Yeah, well, that's because we went an hour ahead.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that works with you in Tennessee. Walter, Joanna says, love your FMQ, your free motion quilting. Yes, he's getting better at it. You didn't do any the last
No, I didn't do any
no.
last couple of nights. So
Mary's here.
To it today.
And Kim is here as well. She says she loves my panel quilt. Thank you, Kim. Kim sent me some really interesting information about the fabrics and that panel in particular. And I should share that with everybody on Idiot Quilter this week. Some of it I knew, some of it I didn't know. So it was nice to have a little bit of what they call it, Providence? Yep. Behind it. And Colleen says, Stephen, your panel quilt is gorgeous, especially because of the black and white border fabric. Yeah, that actually, though, is not going to be bordered when it's done. That's actually, right now it looks like a border, but it's part of the design. Well, I suppose in a sense it's sort of a border. I'm just looking at it back here, but it's there's more to come on this. I'm not done it yet. So that's what we've been working on. Let's see what's coming up. Well, as always, sewing with me Wednesdays in the show notes. All are welcome. You know the roll call. Pop-up sew day, advance notice. March the 21st, Saturday, March the 21st. The few days before it, I will, on all my videos that come up that week, I will have the link in the show note for you. And yeah. And this coming Saturday, we're going to be off on another sew day, an in-person one at Walter's group. You know, we missed the one from last month because Brendan, the guy who runs it, he was stuck in Puerto Vallarta. Oh, sad eyes. Because of that thing with the cartel and everything, and he couldn't get the day that happened. He was supposed to be getting on a flight back home here.
Yeah, and they were, that was I think it was either a Sunday or a Monday. It was a Sunday. And then and he couldn't get a flight back until the following Saturday.
Yep. So that was the day that they were supposed to do the show day. So nope, couldn't do it then, obviously. So it's on this Saturday, so that's good. I have a few little 3D printed treats for the gang that's down there because I always take them something. So we're doing that. And update on the retreat. Things are falling into place. In around about March the 28th, I will be sending out an email with all the details about how you register and everything about that to anybody that's on my mailing list. And for everybody else, there will be a video, a special video put up on my channel where I talk about all that same stuff. And there will be links to the written version of whatever I say in that video as well, which is basically the same thing as what everybody I'm mailing out to. And registration itself, I've already had one person try to register, Eager Beaver, will not happen until April the 4th. But all of the details about that, the ins and outs and the whole bit, if you've never been to one of my retreats, it'll all be revealed to you then. But yeah, nobody can register until April the 4th. Okay, so that's coming along. Last week, the videos. Monday Morning Coffee with me. Talked about a lot of things. Too long. That was a long video. Okay. I'm going to try not to make them quite that long here in the future. But you know, I just get going and I can't stop. But yeah, I had a lot of information about a lot of stuff on there, so I will try to keep it down to, ideally, I would like to keep my videos down into around about 45 minutes. And that's what I used to do. But with this new format, I just get going. Lots of things to talk about. And yeah. So now some people gave me suggestions for that. Somebody suggested I put in timestamps. Yeah, I looked into that because I do see it on some videos where they have timestamps. And the thing is, it's sort of like, okay, so you're not really interested in this particular topic, so you don't want to listen all the way through that part. Although I don't know why, because, you know, you should. You could skip ahead to it, you know, just by typing on the timestamp. It won't let me put in timestamps for some reason on YouTube. I tried. I looked up how you're supposed to do it. I followed all their instructions, and nope. And there was a little caveat there that said not all videos can have timestamps. So maybe if I have something that the AI can detect or whatever, but I couldn't even figure out how to put them in manually if I'd wanted to. And to be honest, I don't want to put them in manually. I mean, you know, I have a life. I don't want to take it, but automatic would be okay. So I guess my best advice to you is just fast forward a little bit on it. I heard that some people will actually take videos, not just mine, but other ones that might be a little long and they've got a section they're not interested in. You can speed it up. If you, the little gears, I think down below the actual video itself, if you click on that, you get a selection of speeds you can go at. And
you start talking like,
oh, well, yeah, you start to, well, it could be fun. Kind of a thing. But yeah, but I am going to be more conscious forthwith as to the timing on it, and I'll try to keep it down to about 45 minutes where possible. As somebody else suggested that, you know, I could break up some of the segments and publish them as separate things, but I've thought about that. But, you know, I publish 4 videos a week already And on occasion there'll be a fifth video. Like when I do an interview with somebody or something like that. I'm not going to bother with that. I'll just keep it a little bit shorter. So, yeah. So if you are annoyed because I go on for too long, we'll get over it. It's my show. Let's see here. Mary says, you see her, I said hello to Mary. Let's go, Colleen, Inez. Colleen says, yes, and SPEI also has a St. Patty's Day storm tradition. Oh, okay. That's the thing. Arta's here. Hi, Arta, from San Diego. Okay, so on The Idiot Quilter last week, I talked about a new program. Well, I don't know how new it is, but one of my subscribers recommended it to me, and it's got potential. It's called Quilt Notes, and I explained all of that. And it's kind of like a simplified version, in a way, of EQ8, and it's pretty much free. And you can design a quilt in it. Yeah, so, for those of you that might want to try to design your own kind of things, but you're not sure how to go about it, it's pretty good. So if you didn't see Idiot Quilter last week, I talked about it, check it out, because I think it's a really great resource, and it's being constantly added to as time goes by. Let's see. So Chatty. Well, we had Walter. I kind of talked to Walter about his experience so far with Lucy and doing the free motion quilting and what he's learned. And you have learned, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
So what do you think the most significant thing is that you've learned?
No, I don't know. I actually just that it's, if you see somebody doing a pattern online, duplicating them is very difficult.
What do you mean? Like
you see a pattern in, like, for instance, my circles. I try to do circles. My circles look like squares with rounded corners.
Well, someone said in the comments about that maybe that could become your signature style.
That's a possibility.
But then too, as we already said on that video too, if there was an actual quilt on there and you were doing those, you wouldn't notice it as much as you do on, like, we're on Stark
Well, not
White.
only that, only if I don't show anybody what the original video looks like, then that looks like it's supposed to be that way.
Yeah, probably. SK Dammit is here too, so welcome, SK Dammit.
And also it's it's good to practice on paper, because it's the flow of getting the
motion,
designs, getting
muscle
it
memory
from one to another, and not
so have you been doing that?
Yes, I have been. But
okay.
it does help. So,
well, when we looked at it, I pointed out that there is a improvement since he started doing this, and I mean, it actually been improving pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm getting to a point though. I think I want to try a different design, and I want to do. I ordered some books online too, so from Amazon to look at different patterns that are different than the one that Tracy was doing. Kind of thing.
But maybe we should go down and see Tracy tail end of next week or something, or maybe on Thursday, because I have a hair appointment at 11 on Thursday. You could take me to the hair appointment. We could do lunch. Then we could go see Tracy. And if we have anything we need to pick up, that would be good for that. Yeah, it's a plan. Yeah. So anyways, check it out if you haven't seen it. And actually, he's starting to get me a little bit turned on trying to try it again too, with it. Now we'll be fighting over who gets Lucy time. Well, no, I'll do it during the day. You'll do it. We put a big one on there, put those bed sheets you bought on there, put a line down the middle. I do one side, you do the other side. We can have a competition. Yeah, I don't know. Dubrovka says, Stephen, your videos are never too long. I guess you don't have a life, Dubrovka. Do you have cable? No. Well, thank you, Dubrovka. I can always depend on Dubrovka to have a kind word. Yes, and I appreciate that. But no, I think they are a little bit on the long side with it. But I have a different mindset when I'm doing the Monday morning coffee with Stephen. In my head, I am actually talking as if people were there. with me like it was alive. And in some ways I think that that's better, because I think although you realize that it's pre-recorded when you're watching it, I think it makes it seem more natural almost. In fact, I know because I've had a few people write comments to the video as if I was live.
So you're not doing it live?
I'm going to do it live once a month.
Oh, okay.
Right now, we're going to try to do a Monday morning coffee with Stephen as a live on the last Monday of every month, and see how that works out. But no, I'm not doing them every week as a live, because there are things that I want to show that are pre-recorded video clips, and it's more difficult to do it during a live with that. I mean, it could be done, but then what's the point? And Inez, okay, I've got 2 people supporting me here. Grant says, I took me a couple of years to get the hang of FMQ. Somewhere I heard not to look right at the needle, sort of look ahead. Like when you drive, don't look at the hood of your car. That helped me. Actually,
that's a good idea.
Well, Tracy told us that.
Yeah.
In that course we took that time. Until Grant just brought it up, I forgot about it. Donna says, I listen while I'm sewing, so the length really doesn't bother me. Yeah, I do that with a lot of videos too that might be like fairly long. I'm doing something else as I'm listening, especially if it's not really, there's not much to look at. Like if it's just the person talking, and you know, after a while it gets boring looking at the same person, he says. With that. The prophet says, I have it all, Stephen. You're just icing on the cake. Oh, thank you. Your checks are in the mail. Lucy says, on my iPad, if you hold your finger on the screen near the bottom, it goes twice the speed. Okay, there's a good tip. SK Damas says, Walter, maybe try some free form open petal flowers. Maybe the idea of patterns is constrictive to you.
Yeah, I can give that a try. Or some. I'm gonna try some other ones.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of things.
Yeah.
To do. I think the one thing that people make the mistake of, and I am one of those people, everybody loves feathers, right? And I know when I first started trying to do free motion quilting, yeah, I did some circles and stuff, and I went, oh, this is boring. Let's do feathers. And yeah, my feathers looked like they had, you know, been destroyed by something. But everybody wants to do feathers. And speaking of feathers, though, if you've seen the latest from Adam, as Adam sews, he's got a long arm now, like a full-fledged long arm. And he's been showing some videos, and he was doing feathers. But he's so good at this stuff. I mean, is there anything that Adam can't do when it comes to sewing? You know, he just picks it up and there, poof, it's gorgeous. So yeah, feathers are not easy. Joanna says, if people feel they're too long, they could hold and come back later. Yeah, that's true, you can. And that says, Walter, all I can do is
Mickey Mouse ears.
Oh no, Mickey Mouse. Knicker Mouse ears. Oh, okay. That's funny. Mickey, yeah. And Joanna says, not boring with that wonderful butterfly shirt. Okay, one of Walter's creations, of course.
That's the one I had to fix, isn't it?
No, is it?
That's the one I had to fix.
Why? What was wrong with it?
Remember, it pulled open at the back when we were.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, this shirt, I was almost naked in the streets of London. The shirt came.
It only had a little hole in it.
Yeah,
but it was a little bit of a problem. It was a bit of an ordeal to fix it.
Yeah, so we fixed. I forgot about that. She had fixed this shirt. Joanna says her feathers aren't great either. My meandering is great though. And Donna says, I too love the shirts. Well, thank you. Barb says, Adam Sews was on Sewing Street in the UK around 2 a.m. my time last week. He was wearing an Art East t-shirt. Yeah, the Sewing Street, I heard him talk about that. I think it's some kind of a show or something like that he I think this is the second year he's been or whatever. He meets up with some bunch of other creators that he knows on there too. Sounds like a lot of fun. Rachel's here. Hi, Rachel. I've caught up and fast forward. Really like the panel quilt outer pattern. Well, I'm glad you do, Rachel. Thank you. Lucy doesn't like feathers. I just meander fairly big scale. Free motion quilting on my
Domestic machine.
The 3 layers hold together as a result. Yeah. Well, that's where I was trying free motion quilting when I first got into quilting, because I didn't have a long arm. And oh God, on a domestic machine, it's a big trial to do that, because quilts are heavy and bulky, and you got to build yourself a nest. That's what I was doing. I had all these folding tables all the way around me. I was in the center, and to support the weight whichever way I was going. But yeah, that's why I got kind of discouraged with free motion quilting. I was doing a lot of walking foot quilting. And you want to try ruler.
Yeah. Did you put the ruler foot
No,
on?
I haven't. I
just put the ruler foot,
Yeah.
but not the platform yet, because I just want
okay.
to use it with the ruler foot.
That's another thing. A couple of people suggested, so you could see it better, getting a open toe foot.
Yeah.
Or a clear one of those things.
Yeah.
You can get one that's clear
Yeah.
too. But we have the original foot. The original foot is a ruler foot, and it's fairly open.
Yeah.
So you should be able to see okay with that. Lucy says mine is a flatbed Juki, works well. Oh, okay. So flatbed Juki. So you're talking about one of those ones that they used to call those sort of a mid-arm or something.
Yeah.
The ones with a bigger table space out there and everything. Yeah. I thought about one of those at one point in time too. But yeah, we have Lucy. And I'm happy with Lucy when she cooperates. Okay, so we do need more ideas though for So Chatty, because we can't show every week Walter working on a quilt. I mean, we will keep you up to date as he gets better, progresses along with it. But I don't know, what else would you like us to do? I am thinking of doing an AccuQuilt sort of series. I've got a couple of dies I have never, well, 3 or 4 actually, that I've never taken out of the package. And I was looking at them today, and I was thinking of maybe doing a demo with either a Mariner's Compass or, what was the other one? Mariner's Compass is one, or the other one was a...
Got the wedding ring.
No, but I've got that too, and it's still in the package. I've got the notes over here. Mariner's Compass, no. Shoot, why can't I remember it? It's another... Damn. Just wait. I'll just reach over here, because I've got... Oh, Carpenter's Wheel. Carpenter's Wheel, that's what it's called. Okay. So, yeah. And show how those blocks work. And actually, I went onto the AccuQuilt site, and they have an embroidery file that is free if you're a registered user of their stuff. That does, I think it's the Carpenter's Wheel, no, the Mariner's Compass on your embroidery machine, like in the hoop applique. So I might give that a try and see how it works out. Now, I've done something like that before with one of their files, because they have quite a few of their dies. They have an embroidery file with them, but the way they do in the hoop applique is bizarre. They want you to cut out templates or something or so, and then cut out your pieces of your fabric in the exact shape, and then you lay them down and you line them up or something. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it the way I do applique all the time. You have the machine stitch out the outline, lay your fabric down, then tack it down. I may have to use the same stitch outline, but that's okay, same diff. And then you trim it. And I think they come with 3 different stitches. You can do a blanket stitch, a satin stitch, or just a running stitch with it. So give that a try and see what, and I'll make a video of it and show you how that turns out. I'm making a lot of videos right now. I'm making a video for that quilt I just showed you. I'm thinking of creating that into a, I don't really want to call it a sew along because it won't be live, but maybe over several weeks it'll be separate videos that, you know, okay, here's the, you get download the pattern and then you can see the video for it. But I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I'm working on one for that table runner I was talking to you about. And I started one today for something that I have had for over a year and a half. We bought when we were in Berlin was it last summer? When did we go down to Berlin?
That was last summer.
Yeah, that was last summer. We went down to Berlin.
Yeah. Well, no, that wasn't.
No, was that
this,
two? No, not past summer.
No, that
Summer.
that
before?
was summer before. Yeah.
Whoa. So 2 years, anyways. So, and I bought this kit to make an Alaskan quilt, and I've seen them before, and you know it's pretty elaborate, but there's a special ruler that goes with it. I bought the special ruler, and every time I took it out and thought I might want to start it, I put it right back again because I went, oh, I don't know. But today I took it out, I watched some videos, and I did some planning, and I made the first block in it. I tried on other fabric, not the fabric that came with it, and actually I know how to use the ruler now. It's pretty easy. So I'm going to make a series of videos about the Alaskan quilt, or Alaska quilt. It's just called Alaska quilt. So that's coming too. So I've got lots of things happening. Pat's here. Hi, Pat. Let's back up here.
Flatbed Juki, right? So is Lucey-A.
Yeah.
Adam's good.
I do too on. Joanna says I do too on the dies.
Okay.
Okay.
AccuQuilt, great idea. Skidamit says, do you like paper piecing?
No. No. However, funny you should bring that up. Somebody told me the other day, and I sort of knew this in the back of my head, but I haven't never done anything with it, that because I have AccuQuilt 8, you can take the blocks that are in the library of AccuQuilt 8 and you can have them print out as foundation paper piecing. They number them and everything for you. And I have a pad of that very fine newsprinty like paper that's meant for that, that's meant to go into your printer. So I could actually try that, but I don't know. I'm still not a fan of paper piecing, but I might try it as an experiment, and I'll video it so you can see how that works out for me. Phyllis says AccuQuilt would be good. I have one, never used it. Yeah, I have a lot of dies for the AccuQuilt system, and I primarily use it to cut strips for binding. I guess because, you know, setup time on an AccuQuilt is a little bit longer, not difficult, than getting out my stripology ruler when I want strips. And I just throw it down and away we go. There's less waste too. Not that that ever bothers me, but yeah, that's one of the big common complaints about AccuQuilt. But yeah, I'm going to do something. We're going to do something because Walter's going to do this too. It's going to be on So Chatty. So
what am I going to do?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe put your hand on a die and we'll run it through the machine and, you know, can I cut this thing? That might be fun. Well, it'll be fun for me. Ivy says, this might be a lot, but it would be interesting to compare the accuracy of using the AccuQuilt to something like Studio 180, cutting larger than cutting to size after sewing. Like the Studio 180 rulers you're talking about. Cutting larger than cutting to size after sewing. I don't know exactly what you're getting at there. Yeah, I don't have a lot of Studio 180 rulers. The thing about AccuQuilt, though, as compared to any ruler, In fact, I looked for an AccuQuilt die for the Alaska quilt today just to see out of curiosity. They don't have one. Your pieces are instant. When you're using a ruler, you often have to move the ruler around and do several cuts before you get your piece. With an AccuQuilt, bang, it cuts it out. And AccuQuilt, if it's things like, let's say you're doing half square triangles, okay, it blunts the corners so you know exactly how to lay the pieces on top of each other. Now, that's probably not a good example because, I mean, half square triangles are so easy to do. You don't need an AccuQuilt for those. But there are some pieces where you have angles and the AccuQuilt cuts them in such a way that it's got markings on the piece you've cut out, and you know exactly how to line it up, and it makes it more accurate. But those are all things we can explore on the channel. Mary Jane is here, and she says, may I suggest you start out showing some less advanced patterns to give us the basics of the AccuQuilt and its benefits? Yes, you can suggest that, and yes, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'll start with some of this, a simpler one. Well, I'll probably do a video showing you the basics, and then we can move into the more complex kind of thing.
You can use it like if you suddenly, like I used it that time when I was doing something with squares. So I cut out a whole pile of squares.
Yeah, it's great for if you've got a lot of scraps and you want to cut them down to, say, just make a whole pile of 2.5-inch squares or 5-inch squares or something like that. It's great for that too. We'll explore. We shall see what we can come up with. We'll come up with something. Okay, so that's plans. If you've got any other plans for us, let us know. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, so 3D printers. I'll talk more about these tomorrow on my Monday coffee. But you know how I want to donate them. Oh, shoot, I forgot to send Teresa.
The idea of Studio 180 is that you increase accuracy by cutting larger, sewing, and then cutting the sewn unit to size.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that's like if you're making half square triangles or something, you make them a little bigger. Like a lot of times there are things that call for, if they want you to do exactly like 2 7/8 squares, and I hate dealing with eighths of an inch. So I will round that up to say 3 inches. And then after I've got the little unit made, I'll trim it down to the size it's supposed to be. And there's lots of rulers, and I think Deb Tucker's are ones that work on that principle too. And that's a pretty common principle, and it's a good principle. I like doing it that way. Saves having to try and cut in like 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch or something like that with it. Whereas with the AccuQuilt, it cuts it exactly what it's supposed to be, but because of what I've already said, with the way it has cut the piece, you know exactly how to line it up and sew it. So there's no extra cutting with it. But maybe explore the benefits and the disadvantages of both methods. Rachel says, out of all the craft sewing you both do, which are your favorites?
I think maybe that's supposed to be a suggestion. But,
oh, maybe. Oh, that maybe she's
yeah, I don't know. I don't do a lot of stuff.
Well, quilting's my favorite. But it depends. I mean, I love 3D printing. And working with that and everything too. And I've done scrapbooking. I used to love that. I'm beyond that now. Well, not beyond it. I just, I've done it. It's been there. I'm done with working on that kind of thing. I've done lots of different things. One time, many years ago, I crocheted. I liked crocheting. I tried to take it up again about 8 months ago or something. Yeah, I wasn't interested.
Well, I like sewing, but I've been making a lot of shirts. I keep saying this, I want to branch and make some more other types of things. Yeah. Jackets.
People are dying for you to make a quilted jacket.
But, yeah, I don't have a lot of what I call crafts that I do. I putter around the house a lot.
He's a putterer. Yeah. But if you're making that as a suggestion for one of our Chatties, well, yeah, we might be able to do something like that if we think about it more, that kind of thing. Okay, so talking about the 3D printers. All right, I have made this decision that I'm getting rid of the Creality KEs. They're good little printers, but you know I'm into bamboo now, and I like the bamboo a lot better than the Creality.
I mean, they still print well.
Oh, they still print
Creality,
well.
but, yeah.
But I mean, you don't have the advantage of being able to have it automatically change colors like you do with the bamboo. And there's a lot of other things with the bamboos. Mind you, they're more expensive than Creality printers. But yeah, I just like them. But they're basically sitting here. I have 4 of them. And I am not using them at all. So we asked the next door neighbor if he wanted one, or if, you know, had someone in his family might want one. Well, his grandson, who's 17 years old, he said, yeah, his grandson would love one. I said, great. So they came over on Friday night, and I showed the grandson, you know, it was a quickie lesson in it. I sent him, by way of his grandfather, an email with a whole bunch of playlists off of YouTube. How come I just froze? Oh, no, that was interesting. For a second there, little pause. So I sent him all this information. I printed out a manual for him and showed him the basics and everything. So we'll see what happens with that. But he seemed to have been really, really happy with getting it. And so that's fine. So that's one down. I'm just glad it went to somebody who really wants one. And it's somebody that I sort of know through the connection of the neighbor. We have a friend that said he wants one. So he's going to get that sometime next week or whatever, and I'll go through everything with him. So that takes 2 out of the 4. And then I have somebody else who's actually a subscriber, but an Ontarian. And she approached me about them, and yeah, I was going to send her an email today, and I forgot to her, say, yep, you want it, you can have it. I tried to offer them to the local elementary school and to the local branch of our library that's within, you know, a kilometer or 2 of us, both of them. No answer, nothing, nada. Didn't even bother to have the common courtesy to write back to me and say, you know, oh, thank you so much for the donation, but we really don't have a use for them at this point in time. It's fine, but nothing. I'm especially pissed off with the school, because I've been down this road with them before when I tried to donate something to them back last year. And same thing, nothing, nada. So I was almost tempted to write to the superintendent of that school and say, hey, am I not going through the right channels? Like, basically, I know I'm going through the right channels, just to rattle their chain, but I haven't done that. I'm not going to bother.
No, I wouldn't bother.
No.
Could be also that they're looking at it, or somebody's trying to pass off their old junk on us.
But common courtesy, well, we'll save the common courtesy because we're going to talk about what's pissing us off about emails these days and how people handle them. So anyways, that means I've basically got one more that I can get rid of, or I'll hang on to it just for nostalgia. I don't know. But they're taking up space, and I need the space because I ordered a new toy. I ordered another AMS for my latest bamboo printer, and that's the things that do the automatic color change. It already has one, but you know, my other 2 printers both have 2 AMSs, so I didn't want it to feel left out with it's only having one. So yeah, I bought another one. I might have a problem. Yeah.
So schools in Rachel's area aren't allowed to take anything secondhand, which is
crazy. It's always hard out for cash. So yeah, like, okay, I can see that maybe they've been burned and that people are passing off junk on them. I mean, I was a teacher. I mean, I know how it works in there. I'm not passing off junk. I wouldn't pass off junk to anybody for that. So, you know, but whatever. We'll see. Barb says, aren't schools usually hard up for funds? Yes. You would think they would be excited to get 3D printer. Yes.
And as mentioned that I did do stained glass up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes, I did do it for a while, but I still have all the supplies, but I haven't done anything for a while. So yeah, I haven't had a huge desire to.
Well, we have a lot of stained glass around, like pieces that you made.
Yeah.
I mean, in this room we're sitting in right now, you can't see it, but there's 3 windows in here, and each one has stained
I had
glass.
often thought I'd do another light, but then I don't really have any place to put it. So
no, we need that. We need a bigger house.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have the stuff, but I haven't done anything with it.
Yeah. Maybe we should do a little. We did one a long time ago. Maybe we should do another one, a tour of Walter's stained glass in the house, because I don't think there's a room in the house that doesn't have a piece in it. So yeah, that might be fun to do that. So anyways, yeah, I'm happy to get rid of these printers to good homes, because I said they still work and everything. There's not a problem. Okay, so yesterday, I think it was to thank us for the 3D printer, and also because Walter shoveled our neighbor's driveway while they were in South Africa. And so they invited us over for wine and cheese and that kind of thing. And we had a very pleasant afternoon yesterday with them, talking about all kinds of things and whatnot. And yeah, it was lots of wine and a lovely charcuterie as well. I love saying that word.
It's kind of neat because their house next door is the same as our house, except it's flipped. Like the design's flipped, so everything's
yeah, it's 180-degree flip kind of a thing. So it's disorienting when you walk in because it's familiar, but it's not familiar. You know, you turn, suddenly you walk into a wall. Well, that wasn't there yesterday. Where'd that come from? But we had a nice time with them, and they gave us a couple of gifts that came from South Africa. They gave us a bag of rusks. Now, when they said rusks, I was thinking of what the Dutch have, these rusks, which are round little, I don't know what they're made out of. What are they made out of? They're not rice cakes.
No, they're like a biscotti. What? Well, the rusks
the
are,
Dutch rusks.
They're like almost a toast.
Yeah, they're like a toast, a thick toast. But these ones were more like a biscotti.
Yeah.
And they gave us a bottle of this liqueur called Amara. It's a derivative of Amaretto.
Yeah. Amarillo
or something.
Amarillo,
yeah, it's kind of like they equated it to something like Bailey's. You know, Bailey's Irish cream.
Yeah, well, they did say the Amarula or whatever nuts or whatever they get, or as a fruit or something that goes in South Africa.
Yeah.
So,
but I guess they had it when they were there, and what they do is you have a glass of this and you dip the rusk into it, because they are kind of hard, like a biscotti, you know, and eat them that way. And so we tried that last night, and yes, very delicious. You could get drunk pretty fast on those things because it soaks up that stuff real quick. But yeah, they're really nice. I had a couple this morning, not with liqueur. I had them with my coffee, which was kind of nice. But anyways, that was really nice of them to do that, because they didn't need to do any of that whatsoever. But it was really nice. And
yeah, Faith was saying she wants me to do stained glass. No, I haven't done stained glass in a while. Oh. And I got tired of my hands being cut up all the time. Also,
we really don't have the space.
No, I don't have it set up, and all my stuff's in storage. Plus, I have to get more. Some of my items have expired, so I'd have to get fresh stuff. Like some of the in some of the stained glass I did was foil, and the foil has sticky stuff on the side of it, and it
dries up.
It dries up, yeah.
Oh,
so
okay. On it. Yeah, but usually when you did your stained glass before, you were going to a place.
Yeah, I went to a place to do it at a place, and that place is now gone. They closed down and moved to Newfoundland.
Yeah, so there we go. Well, we'll just go down, meet up with her. Yeah. You can do that. We can visit in us. Yeah. Karen asked, do you use embroidery software? That might be a topic.
We have embroidery software.
Yes, we do have embroidery software, but if you're talking about ones for designing or altering, yes, it's called Artistic Digitizer. It's a product made for Janome. It's very expensive because I think it was like about $13 or $1,400 when I bought it. I am definitely neither one of us are experts on how to use it.
We will use it on an as needed basis.
Yeah.
And at the time, it's a bit of a learning curve to try and use it.
We have shown what it looks like and everything on a previous video back some time ago, but we might approach it again and look at it. But we're not comfortable enough with it to really do like tutorials or that. Maybe a quickie little demo to explain what this stuff does, that kind of thing. But not a full-fledged like series of tutorials because we don't know what we're doing. Rachel says Amarula, absolutely gorgeous drink. She loves it. Yeah, well, I like amaretto. And this is just a creamy version of it.
No, it isn't.
No?
It isn't amaretto.
It tastes like
Amarillo is a type of fruit that grows in South Africa.
That's what you meant. Yeah. Oh, okay. Because I thought it kind of reminded me of amaretto.
Yeah, amaretto's, what do you call it?
Almonds. Yeah, that's right.
Well, this isn't almonds.
No. Well, it's good. Whatever. You could get really sick on it really fast.
Oh, your
Gnome's foot is stuck in the door. Ouch. Oh, yeah, so he is. Our faces are up here, Faith. Oh, geez, you people.
Yeah. Okay, I see what the gnome's.
Yeah, I see. He's stuck. I opened up. Yeah, he's got a foot in the door. He's a salesman one. Okay, so let's see. Meanwhile, in Canada, what's new going on these days? Well, of course, everything is overshadowed by what's going on in the Middle East these days, but our Prime Minister's still out making deals with India, China, Japan, and with Australia now. So he is diversifying our portfolio, and we say good for him. Good for him. And now, there's some controversy as to whether or not we are going to get involved with the Middle East situation. Carney has said, no, we are not. We have not been approached to be involved, and we weren't part of any of the plans that went to it. He made that very clear. Okay, and that's important that he makes it clear. Canada has not declared war on them over there. And there may be some out in the world who think because of our so close association with the United States that we have not. And I'm glad he's made that perfectly clear. This is not our war. However, he has said that if NATO or whoever asks for assistance from us, then Canada will step up to the plate, but that doesn't mean we're going to have boots on the ground kind of a thing. We do what we do best in our military, and that is peacekeepers. And I think that's what Carney really has in mind, if at all. But right now, we have it at arm's length, not our war with it. So, yeah. Yeah, that's about all that's been going on, really, in Canada, in the news. I mean, Polyev has kept his ugly head down. Yeah, well, everybody's going up for everybody, because of things that are going on in the Middle East, of course. So here we go again. We've been down this road before as a world. So, I don't know. But we're not going to get into a big discussion about whether they should have or they shouldn't have gone in there or whatnot. It really doesn't matter in terms of what we think, because there's only one person that is important to all of this situation, and we know who we're talking about. And yeah, whatever. These are things that keep you up at nights, so we'll leave it from that. Okay, so let's talk about email etiquette. And the reason being is because what I had just said about it would have been nice if the school or the library had sent me a quick little email to acknowledge that they got an email from me, and no, they didn't want any, no thanks, screw off. Fine. But no, they don't. And this got me thinking about how people in general handle email. And there's a lot of people like that when it comes to email. And I got thinking, well, why? Why is it that people don't answer their email? Now, I'm the kind of person that my email is on all day long. And as soon as a message comes into me, I do usually answer it right then and there. And I like to joke that I'm never more than 30 seconds away from my email. Maybe I have an obsession. I don't know. But if somebody asks me something in email or makes a comment that needs a response or something like that, I don't leave them hanging with it. But so many people do. So why is this? And I came up with a few brainstormed ideas. I mean, first of all, why don't people check their email regularly? Because I hear this a lot. Oh, yeah, I haven't checked my email in a few days. Are people that busy that they don't check their email? Maybe. I don't know. But it's the chief means of communication for all of us now. You know, this is how we talk to people. Most of us don't have landlines anymore. Yes, there is texting going on, and you could probably put the texting in the same category as email, because, you know, people will send text messages and never answer back with it. So I suppose it's the same thing. But yeah, are they lazy? Do you answer your emails quickly?
Not as often as I used to. I do check my email at least once or twice a day. So I will, I have on rare occasions left it for a day. But I do tend to answer my emails frequently.
Yeah, not
but
mine.
not immediately.
You never answer mine. You make up this excuse. Oh, I never got that. And that's another thing people will tell you. If you press them on it, you know, I sent you this email 2 days ago and I haven't heard anything from you. And they go, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Maybe it went to spam. Bullshit. I call bullshit. It could happen sometimes, but yeah, no. I call BS on that one. So, are they just lazy? Maybe. Are they technologically challenged? Now, that's a possibility. I mean, let's face it. Most of us that are here in this group, we are of the older generation, okay? And we all have different levels of expertise with using the technology. I mean, my mother never answered an email in her life. She didn't know what they were. She couldn't do it. And she turned around when I tried to teach her, said, it's not my cup of tea. And I hear that a lot from older people. Well, I can't be bothered. It's just too confusing. Your sister is one for that.
My sister will do that. I mean, she's had to work in a technology sort of environment at some point in time, but then she'll go, oh, I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have that. Scott says, don't sweat about the emails as it's not everyone's thing. No, it's not. But when you have something important, you know, like, okay, I don't chat in email.
No.
If you get an email from me, it's for a very, very specific purpose. I keep it short. I keep it sweet. I'm looking for an answer. Sometimes that answer is as simple as yes or no. Don't leave me hanging on this, because if it's that important, then I will be sending you another email and another one. And with each one, I get a little bit more frustrated with people who don't answer it back. I know we get a lot of junk emails. We're going to come to that in a minute, but you know, and after a while, it's kind of like, oh, screw that. Or you get junk emails from people you know too, because there are some people who, like in the days of telephones, just love to chat forever on things. So yeah, I can see why you might ignore those kind of emails. But if it's stuff that's important, or a specific question or something that needs an answer, then, you know, really, etiquette would suggest you should get back in a timely fashion to the person. Of course, that may depend on how you define timely with it. Russ says he gets enough email at work. I check my home email like once or twice a day, and it's usually just deleting all the spam or promotions I get. No need to constantly keep up with that. No, you're right.
No, you're right. But then there's some important emails, like if you've got a flight booked and they send you a message that your flight has been canceled.
You might want to be checking your emails for that. If you've got something on order and they've changed the shipping date, or they suddenly have decided you're not getting that for whatever reason, you may want to check your emails for that. I mean, on most email clients, you can set it up so you have categories, and the system will sort of like spam, it'll go to a spam folder automatically, or promotions. Like Gmail has this. I don't really use Gmail a lot. I use my one from my internet provider, but you use
Gmail, and it's pretty good at throwing the spam in the spam folder.
And also if there's stuff that's promotional too, it'll throw it in another folder, and that kind of things, which is kind of handy. But you know, sometimes you got to check those too. Yeah. Look through quickly, because sometimes something you were expecting gets categorized into one of those categories that you don't look at.
I periodically clear out all my emails, so.
But you ignore all of mine.
No, I don't. Most of them are garbage anyway that you send me.
Let's see, how do I put it gently? Asshole. Okay, let's see. Lucy says I use WhatsApp for chatting with my gym gals and family. I use email for more formal stuff.
Yeah, it's better if you're chatter to use a messenger or something like that.
Joanna says my email is on my phone. My work email is on work computer, so I only check that when I work about 4 times a month. I respond to text quickly. Yeah, I think a lot of people have a tendency to respond to text messages quicker than they do to email. Maybe because you've got your phone usually with you, and maybe it's much more immediate. Scott says I'm on top of my emails, but I get it if it's not everyone's priority. Yeah, I get it too. Just don't do it to me. Rachel says, where I work, people can now answer email with just an emoji. Drives me insane when I ask them to do something and I get a... Oh, that's one that wasn't on my list, but I agree.
Yeah.
You know, so you get a heart and you're asking something, you go, so should we do lunch next week? And you get a heart. Does that mean you like me? Does that mean, yes, we should? Like, okay, you gotta write more than show a stupid emoji. And in some cases, I don't understand what the emoji means, because there's an awful lot of them there. So yeah, that's annoying. Scott says he prefers a quick phone call to an email, more effective. You know, I don't.
No, I don't either. Phone call means that person has to be available right that point in time. And then if they don't pick up, a lot of times they end up getting it on...
goes to voicemail. And then what happens is you leave a message on the voicemail and they never get back to you anyways. And then you get the excuse, I sent you a voicemail about this. Oh, I didn't get that. Yeah.
Yeah, or their voicemail box gets filled up.
Yeah. Oh, that's the most annoying. You can't put, because they haven't emptied out their voicemail box
or
in 100
they'll
years.
send you, or you send an email and it bounces back and it says that their email box is full.
Yeah, that's true. Or they've changed their email address. That makes you wonder, oh, is it because of me? I don't know. Yeah, and that's what Skadammit said. People sometimes let email get too full and then they don't even know what's in there. Get scared to look. Get more overwhelmed. I used to do that. Yeah, that is a thing too, is, you know, your email box can, if you're not on top of it, can fill up pretty quickly. And a lot of the stuff may be, you know, scammers fishing for something, or promotional things and that kind of stuff. But you take a look at it and suddenly you've got 300 messages and you go, I'm never going to get through these. So yeah, I can see that being a problem. Ruth says, oh no, I missed today's live. I just got back from Denver Mountain Time, then back to New York Eastern Time, and then now the switch to daylight savings. I'm all turned around. Well, you're a doctor. you can analyze your problem and figure it. Yeah. Adam's there. Hi, Adam, you're late. Uh, again, time shift. Russ says people keep their phone on them all the time. I lose my phone in the house at least 3 times a week because I'm not attached to it. Are you a woman? I'm being serious. I'm not being sexist. I hear this all the time. Women have a tendency to carry their phones with them and then they lay them down somewhere. See, with men, we have pockets and we throw everything in our pockets. So, my cell phone is in my pocket right now. I very seldom ever leave my phone sitting out somewhere.
I will have it on my desk, but then as soon as I get up to go anywhere, I put it in my pocket. So
yeah. Rachel says this is work messages as well. Definitely not appropriate to send me a flippin' heart. Yeah.
I don't.
True.
I don't have email notify me when I get a message because I don't like to be bugged all the time.
I have that feature sort of on my phone, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I've never figured out why with that. But yeah, so now the other thing though I can see why some people may be apprehensive to leap right into the email stuff is because they're afraid of scammers. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in a second. But I can see that because there are tons of them. I get scammer emails, I'd say probably on average 8 to 10 a day. That or for like I especially get ones because they're trying to they want my identity for my YouTube channel because they're telling me how they can improve my channel for me by doing this and that. Now some of them are sort of legit. They are a business that will do things to help you be more visible and the algorithms and things like that. But a lot of them, all they want is they want you to give them your ID and they can steal your identity and wreak havoc across your network. So I don't answer any of them. I do not read them. I automatically mark them as junk and away they go. And then there's the fear of being on a mailing list. And oh God, when I joined so many different mailing lists for things, and now I'm in the process of eliminating them when they come up. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. You know how they have an unsubscribe thing. So you go into it, you unsubscribe from it, and you still get them. And then sometimes they'll tell you, yeah, it may take up to 7 to 10 working days for this to stop coming to you. But that doesn't always work either. So yeah, you got to be careful with what you do with mailing lists. Because that will generate a lot of emails. I'll tell you one that drives me nuts, but I haven't turned them off, is all the embroidery sites I go to. OESD, Designs by Juju, Sweet Pea, Embroidery Library. There's another one on there too. I get 2 to 3 emails a day from each of them. And the reason I don't turn them off is because they run specials all the time. So I may see something that I want. That's why I haven't turned them off. But it's annoying. And they're always the same thing. 60% off, 50% off, all this kind of stuff. And they're not scams, but they're like annoying. And I wrote to one of them and said, look, why am I getting so many in a day? I don't mind one a day. Why do I need 4 or 5 of the same one a day? And I'd say, oh, you can go in and do the digest. Well, the digest saves them all up and you get them in one fell swoop. The same one repeated over and over again. So it doesn't really solve the problem with it. But that's me. I want to see what's on sale. So, I have FOMO. So I let those ones go, but it's annoying. So let's talk about things that etiquette, because there is an etiquette to writing emails. And one of my pet peeves is putting your whole message in the header, in the topic line. I have had people who have written me a whole message in the topic line. Now, the problem is with my email provider, it kind of cuts it off after a certain number of characters, so I don't see the whole message. I have no idea what the person wanted to say. I don't know why people do that. The topic line is to give a very short indication of what this email is about. Like, surprise party. Great. And in the bottom, you put the surprise parties for Samantha on such and such a date. We're doing this here and there. And there. That's where it's supposed to go. Don't put it all in the topic line. That's annoying. And a lot of people, if those kind of messages come in, I kind of delete them because I can't read it because I can only read part of it. So that's one thing. Don't use capital letters. This goes with text messages too. If you put something all in capital letters, it means you're shouting. It means you're mad about something. And that sets a nice tone, doesn't it? For getting a reply back to those things. And for God's sakes, write in complete sentences. And don't start in the middle of the thought. Oh, I have had so many emails where people just assume I know what they're talking about. I have no idea. There's no context. That's the other thing is you got to put in a context. Do you remember way back when you went to school, in elementary school, and they taught you how to, in writing, answer a question? So you have a written question. You were always supposed to take part of the question and start with that and then give your answer to it. So that's called putting your answer into context so people know what you're talking about. And people do that in text messages as well. They just assume you can read their mind. No, some minds aren't worth reading anyways. But I mean, you know, so I'm not going to waste my time on that. But yeah. Sign the bloody email. Put your name at the end of it. Now you're going to say, but it's in my email address. Not always. Not always. I get emails from subscribers and I don't know who it is. Like they'll put the name in. Mary is in the header. It may come up with her email address, which is something totally different. Like Mary hit me in the side of the head at hotmail.com. I still don't know who Mary is. And I know several Marys. So which one are you? And especially couple that with not giving me context to what you're writing in the body. I still don't know. So, yeah. And I'm not going to search through my address book or whatever to see if I can figure out which Mary it is. So, sign it with your name. And some people don't use their name in their email address. It's, you know, hot babe at, you know, whatever. Well, I know a lot of hot babes. So, you know, which one are you? Hot babe number 1, hot babe number 2. I don't know. So sign your name, hot babe, so we know who the heck you are with it. It's just common courtesy. Now, some people say, well, I don't want to put my last name. Well, at least your first name, sign it. But I have a problem with no last names either. If you're sending me an email and it's a legitimate kind of thing that you're doing, then you shouldn't have any problem putting your last name in as well. I mean, unless we know each other really, really well, you know, we've been having regular communication, you really need to put your last name in. And why are you writing to people that you don't trust in the first place to put your last name in? What are you writing? What is that? What do you think about it? Sounds a little clandestine to me. Yeah, so some comments here.
Set it and forget it.
So Joanne says, I put mine down all the time and the hub makes fun of me. Okay. Artist says, that's one of the problems. They don't make women's clothing with pockets and I hate carrying a big purse for everything. I know. Because I've heard ladies say that, you know, they have no place to put it. So they set it down somewhere and then they can't find it. So yeah. Ruth says, I sometimes feel like I'm expected to be available and respond immediately to text messages, not emails. I rely on my phone for everything, but at times I want to unplug and write letters. Yeah, I get the idea that you feel like you're on call.
Yeah.
Because it does do that to you.
That's why I don't usually like text messages, because they seem to require an immediate response.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that thing. Oh, well, it's just like it goes back to the old days of landlines. When the phone rang, you probably answered it.
The only time I like getting text messages is maybe if I have my car in for service and they text me that it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's more convenient that way too. But yeah, I get that with emails can give you stress. They can. But I think you're going to have more stress if you don't keep up with them, as we already said earlier. If you have 100,000,
Yeah, I know.
you have
Like, I
more
mean,
stress.
what happens when you miss an important email? Like your best friend just died, and
Yeah.
the funeral's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, things like that. Barb says subject should be short and sweet. I agree, Barb, exactly. Um, I'm SK, damn it.
Oh, she's trying to
Oh.
say that's her first name and last name.
Oh, okay. MSK, damn it. Okay. Well, if your close friends know you go by that, I'm sure that's not a problem. But if you sent me a message, well, now that I know that, and you signed it SK, damn it. Actually, I still don't like that because that sends out a message to me. So you don't trust me with this information about you, but you feel free to violate my email box with a message. Like I'm being kind of funny there, but I mean, like, it does. It sets up a whole trust issue. I mean, if you're making a general inquiry at some place that you might think's a little sketchy, and why you're sending emails to sketchy spots, I don't know, then yeah, maybe you don't want your real name there. But that brings up a whole lot of interesting possibilities there. Scott says Steven's out to kill. Damn right, Scott. Russ says, if my best friend just died, I best not be getting a funeral announcement via email.
Well, probably wouldn't.
Well, you probably wouldn't.
No, but I'm just saying.
You'll get a text with a smiley face.
Like you get an important announcement that comes through. Like I said before, your airline got canceled.
Yeah. And Lucy says, I just whizzed through my spam folder and emptied it. Okay. Yep. I empty mine out every so often too. Well, actually, I don't have a spam folder because I don't use Gmail that much. I have a Gmail account, but it's set up so that if anybody writes to my Gmail account, it's forwarded to my main account. I set that up years ago when I was teaching for kids to send me their essays. I didn't want them to know my real email address because, kids, teenagers.
Of course, if you don't have any friends, then you wouldn't be getting funeral announcements anyway.
Oh, that's true. Or you get to a certain age and they're already dead. So, yeah. Okay. What else here? Okay. And I have been guilty of this, and some of you may have been victims of this from me. If you're sending out the same message to a multiple number of people, use the BCC, blind carbon copy, because there's a couple of problems with this. If you put in, say you've got 5 people, 10 people, it's something that you want them all to know at once, but you put them all up in the 2. That means these other people may not know each other. And so you have now revealed their email address to all of them. And maybe the person you're writing to, they don't want that information out there. So if you put it in the BCC line, then the others can't see somebody else's email address or who it's gone to.
And that avoids when somebody accidentally does reply all.
And that was the next point. And I've been okay. So, I have a mailing list, of course, and I have made the mistake, and I've done it a couple of times, and I'm not proud of it. In my rush to get something out, say like about the retreat or whatever, on my mailing list, I send it to everybody in the mailing list. Well, I wanted everybody in the mailing list to get it, but I should have put it as a BCC, not a 2, because then people started to reply back to it, and it meant everybody got their reply. So that's something you got to watch too. When you are going to reply to something, if you don't want the same group of people all to see it, you only want one person to see that message, make sure that you Don't just reply blindly to the message. Reply to the person with just their email address so that not everybody else gets that. Or I had some fun with that once when I made that mistake, because it just kept growing and growing and growing because it was looping back on itself. Yeah. So use the BCC and proofread. For God's sakes, proofread, people. Proofread. Because, and you know that if you're doing something like this on your phone, spell check may kick in and you may not be sending out what you really meant. Like, because spell check, if you don't proofread it, may have changed certain words to, sometimes it can be hilarious, but that may not have been your point to be funny at that. So you need to take the time to proofread. Goes with your text messages too. And for God's sakes, do not use a lot of short forms. Oh, there's nothing trying to read a text message or an email message where somebody's got FOMO, WTF, LOL, smiley face, eggplant, poop. I don't know on it. Like, you needed to have a decoder ring to decide what this person is really trying to say. You know, it's one thing to do it like if it's fun and it's somebody you're really close to and you know, and you're texting them and so they're used to your short forms, because yeah, that's one thing. But if you're writing to people that don't know you quite as well, you're just going to confuse them. And when people get confused reading a message, they tend not to read the message or reply to it. They just go, "Yeah, this is garbage," and move on. Let's see. Colleen says, full voicemail boxes annoy me. Yep, me too. And Skadammit says, no, if I was going to send you an email, Stephen, I'd start with my name and the fact that I'm a channel follower, and then at the end I'd say Skadammit. And that is perfectly acceptable, because there's no problem here. I would know exactly who you are then. And that's also brings up the point too that I said earlier about having context there. Rachel says, I fear your inbox may be inundated with people trying to make you blow a gasket. What makes you think you fear that? No, I have to say that actually people are pretty good. The ones I have a few that, you know, but those are usually people I kind of know a little better. And so I understand what they're talking about. But if you're a complete stranger to me or you don't give me a context, then 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to answer you, because I figure you're just somebody being obnoxious with it, or you're a scammer. And speaking of scammers, this is another reason why people are afraid to do emails, or, you know, to check their emails on a regular basis. And there's an easy way, and scam happens like all the time. And phishing is when they seem to be offering you something or whatnot, and they're trying to see if you're going to answer back to them. And because they have a robot sending these emails out, when a reply message comes back, they can see actual email addresses, and this is when they can start working on you to get whatever they want out of you. So how do you avoid those? First of all, look in the to line or from line in the header, and usually there'll be a name of something, but there'll be a bracket, and it will have an email address there, which is often a URL. Now, sometimes certain email clients, you can't see that information, but there is a button you can push, a setting you can adjust that sometimes it's called verbose or something like that, or extended heading or something like that. If you turn that on, you will see where it's coming from. And if it looks like it's a domain name that you've never heard of before, then it's probably scam or spam on that. And so don't answer it. Don't do anything. In the context, in the body of it, if it's from somebody you don't know very well, they will identify themselves so that you do know who it's from. But if you don't know, don't answer back, because that way they know that your email address is live. And then you can open up yourself to a whole new situation. Never click on in the body of an email anything that's a hyperlink, a URL or anything like that, unless you know for sure who this email is from. Like your friend said to you, well, like today, next door neighbor sent me a link to a site that we had been talking about the day before, so I knew that was legit. But if you're suspicious at all, don't do it through your email. Go to the website, go to the actual website itself and check it out there. And don't open up any attachments, and you will be tempted to open attachment. There's one I got this morning. Hi, haven't talked to you for a while, and I found these pictures you might be interested in. And they had a name on it. They usually use a generic name, John. Well, I know some Johns. And you're thinking in your mind, oh, maybe it was somebody from back at one of my vacations or something we met, or it was an old high school friend or college friend or something like that. And then you click on that link, and that could be a problem. So don't. If you're in doubt,
or if it's like somebody that you get a message from that you haven't heard from in years, that might also be a thing, because the person that you might have known years ago, their email address may have been compromised.
Yeah. And that happens all the time too. So the best thing to do is don't reply to that message. If you have their email address, then write to them directly.
Directly.
Yeah. With that thing.
Say, did you send me this email?
Yeah. I think we've already talked about that. Yeah, that's what we were just saying. Check with them with it. Yeah, so these are things, unfortunately, we have to be aware of, and it may be why people don't answer emails as quick, especially if the email has come from, like I wrote to the school. They don't know who I am, although I gave them context. I gave them my first and last name. They saw my legitimate email. So I'm pretty sure they can figure it out that I was not trying to scam them. I was very clear in why I was contacting them and the whole bit. I even sent them a picture of the printer as well. So, but they still didn't answer me. Same with the library.
Chris Walter says, I have someone that died 5 years ago sending me emails with attachments.
Yeah, that's another thing that happens as well. Obviously, their email address had gotten compromised somewhere down the road, and the robots are out doing their work. Pat says, Steve, did I hear you say to puff read? No, I said proof read. And Pat, have you had your hearing aids tuned up lately? Maybe it's my Canadian accent, Puff. Puff read. Poof read. Okay, so yeah. So anyways, my knickers get in a knot when people don't follow etiquette for emails. It's important, especially if you want an answer. Don't screw around. That kind of thing. Okay. So anyways, that was my little rant for today. You got any more rant you want to add to that? No, nothing? That's because you don't answer emails.
No.
Only from people that you like.
Only important people.
Yeah, apparently. I don't fit in that category. Yeah.
Russ, don't send me an email.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, that's the end of today, and tune in tomorrow for bring your coffee with you. We'll have coffee together. Tuesday, the Idiot Quilter. Friday, So Chatty. Don't know exactly what we're doing yet, but we'll figure that out. And then we're back here to this again. So, and by the way, just so you know, I'm not sure when it'll come out. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but Becca and of So Becca and Ian of the Off Quilter Crafter have asked Walter and I to be on their podcast. and we are recording that this Wednesday evening. I'm not sure when it will be posted. I'll ask them, so watch for that, or not, your choice, with it. So I was very flattered with that. I was also on Sean's live on Saturday morning too. Always a good time with Sean. So yeah, so you can check out Sean's channel because he always does the rebroadcast of that. And yeah, so okay, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day in whatever screwed up time mess you're in with that. And we'll see everybody next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.